something, 30 something. 30 something. 30 something.
Hey guys, welcome back to 30 somethings. Today we're going to talk about coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, just how it is affecting us in our 30 somethings, whether it's taking care of our close family members, our mental health due to social distancing, whether you should send your child to school or not. You know, those are some hot topics dealing with this coronavirus that's really affecting everyone. So let's talk about it. Coronavirus, COVID-19, is an illness caused by a virus that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID-19 is a new coronavirus that has spread throughout the world. COVID-19 symptoms can range from being mild to no symptoms to severe illness. And that basically let me know that they don't know nothing about coronavirus.
Nothing.
And it is so scary that the CDC, this is the general vague description that they have. Yeah. How is it spread? Coronavirus can be spread from person to person. That means if you are in close contact with someone, respiratory droplets and infected persons that cough or sneezes and you're around them, you can get coronavirus. And also touching surfaces that a person that is infected with coronavirus touches. So it's very contagious and it's really, really hard to contain. How can you protect yourself? Ways to protect yourself is by washing your hands, doing social distancing in areas that you have to go. You know, we know that we all wish that the world could just shut down, but the bottom line is that it's opening back up. So the best thing to do is to get used to the new normal and begin to wash your hands after everything that you're doing. Make sure that you're standing 6 feet apart from anyone when you're at work or any other public places. And please, please, please wear a mask.
Like in regards to people not wanting to wear a mask because they feel like it is their right. And it's almost a mockery against Black Americans and Hispanic Americans that are marching for their rights, just equal rights that are afforded to us in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution today. So it is a very interesting time, Mel.
It's very interesting, and I just want to piggyback off of that and just let all of my fellow Black African American people know that, especially in Mississippi, according to the Mississippi Department of Health website, it says that that 56% of the cases are Black people. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people, and specifically in just a small state like Mississippi.
Yeah.
So we definitely are going to have to wash our hands and wear our masks because for some reason, regardless of whatever it is, it's systemic racism, not being able to get health care, bottom line is we're the majority.
Yeah.
You know, it's real out here. So I really, really urge you all to do these things to keep yourself safe. I do not have a child that's in school at the moment, but I do have close friends and family members who work as teachers. You know, it's just so many connections and so much fear. So I think they're offering the parents to like allow their kids to do virtual. And if you don't want to do virtual, then you can send them to school. But I think you have to make a decision. It's not something you can flip flop and do. You have to make a choice, and that's how they're going to prepare.
Mm-hmm. How would you feel personally, Melanie, if your child had to go back to school? And you're a full-time nurse. So
I do have that fear. You know, luckily I'm working from home and God has blessed me with that, but who knows what they may tell me. And then I have to come with that hard decision of having to send my child. But as long as I am able to work from home, I'm not going to send her because this is just such a scary time. But I don't look at anybody in a lower quality or that they're making a poor decision to send their kids. We literally don't know what to do. You can keep your child home and get COVID. People are getting COVID all summer and ain't nobody been in school.
And there's no direction. There's no direction. There are no facts. There's no independent studies yet to have been completed to come out to figure out whether or not children can you know, contract COVID and give it to adults at an increasingly higher rate. Like, we don't know. Like, everything that I've been reading is just that we still don't know. We're still
Still don't know
in the
because
early
it's so
stages.
new. It hadn't been long enough to really be able to test it and see what is really going on. You know, on my Facebook is so many parents thinking and talking about this, and I see so many people say, well, people are judging me because I'm deciding to send my child to school. I don't have a choice but to send them to school because my occupation does not allow me to stay home. Or, you know, I'm sending my child to school and the school won't pay for the computers. It's just so many different things. Teachers not wanting to go back to school. A lot of teachers don't want to go back. They feel like they're being forced, but they're going to go because they have to take care of their family members. It is just a very scary time. And I think that we need a lot of prayer and just definitely doing the things that the CDC guidelines are telling us.
Yeah.
Because there is no vaccination and there is actually no treatment for coronavirus, you know, and you can be one of the ones that don't have any symptoms. You could be one of the ones that might have mild symptoms, but we don't know why these folks are getting severely ill. It's raging for people with underlying diseases and also people who don't have not one underlying disease. People are getting sick.
Yeah.
And they don't know how or why. They don't know how or why. Don't be the guinea pigs. Don't go out there and just jump out there because everything is opening. I don't think.
Right. So we have a recording actually of a concerned parent that we're going to play right now.
I think I speak for me and the rest of the world when I say we're scared as hell of this virus. One reason why we're sending our kids back to school and we don't even know what will bring of that, what they will bring home, how they will bring it home. The second is if they do stay at home with us, I don't have the capability of giving them what they need, the education that they need, the nutrient, the teaching. My son suffers from um, separation disorder. He needs to be around people. I can't give him that. I also work a small business. I can't give him my small business everything that he needs and be able to log on to a computer for up to 4, 5, 6 hours. Me and my friend was just talking about yesterday. Well, today we was talking today. What are we going to do? It scares the hell out of us. It scares us to the point that we do not know what to do with our kids, whether we should keep them home or whether we should send them to school, whether we should teach them ourselves or whether we should give them to the professionals that knows how to teach them. We're scared. We're scared. What do we do? And we're scared.
So that was a comment from a concerned parent about sending her son back to school. And I think that it covered definitely the realism of what it looks like for a parent who's an entrepreneur, a parent who has a son that may have a pre-underlying condition, and also a parent who is expressing her abilities or disabilities to be able to handle and juggle all these 1,000,005 things, you know, that would be required because COVID-19 is reality.
Yeah, it's definitely reality. And when someone close to you get it, that I think it kind of changes your mind on how you look at it. I'll be honest that I looked at it, but it didn't touch me. But in the recent days, it really has touched me. And I just want my Black people, no, all people, anybody that can hear me, to please put your mask on. Stand 6 feet apart. Stay home. Stop gathering.
Elle, how did you feel when you heard that reporting?
Christy, it was very touching because, you know, I could just feel that mother that mother instinct. And I have those same thoughts, the way things are moving. If you thought about it 6 months ago, you wouldn't have never thought that we would be in this place. So it is chilling to hear, that she may not be able to take care of her child because she is an entrepreneur.
And having your kid return to school and maybe catching COVID or bringing COVID home to maybe not just the mother or the breadwinner, but also maybe to elderly grandparents, that is a concern and that is a scare, and that's a very honest,
Yeah, I think she was very candid in how she felt. Like, she said she's scared as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I just heard the realness in that, and just seeing the coronavirus up close, with people that I know, I really feel it in a way that I didn't quite understand it or feel it before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a horrible disease.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whatever theories you may have, you can say it's a conspiracy theory, you can say whatever. This stuff is real. It's affecting Black people more than anyone, and people are dying. At first they were saying no kids. Now we're saying that definitely kids have coronavirus. I've known people to say little babies are getting coronavirus. So, and it's not just, if you're young, you're not going to die. I've heard stories of people, young 24-year-olds, walking into the ER, never coming back out the hospital, dealing with this. So it's definitely not, it's affecting everyone, and people don't know.
It's crazy because it has affected my career too. Because of COVID. Yeah, because of COVID, in the immigration court, hearings in certain courtrooms are only able to be telephonically heard, like no video. So there are no Zoom calls. And it's so interesting because I was explaining the story to a friend, and she was like, well, why don't you have Zoom? Everyone has Zoom. I'm like, well, there's a such thing as systematic oppression, not just for Blacks, but for a lot of immigrants as well. And this is one of those situations. So because there's only a telephonic hearing, you're on the telephone for 5 hours. Everyone is telephoned in. And so, number one, there's a lot of turbulence. There's a lot of interference. Number two, how are you expected to accurately represent your client if you can't even have the opportunity to see your client, or your client to even see you? So it's just, it has been such a different time. It has been such a pivot in my career, and I'm sure that it's been a pivot in so many other people's careers.
Oh yeah, I think it has affected so many people's careers. We're living in a tragic time.
It's also a reality for teachers, especially elderly teachers. That it puts them at high risk.
Yeah, it does. That's a hard decision. I've seen a couple of people talk about that. Even nurses versus teachers. I've seen those debates. We had to do it. Why can't y'all do it? I'm a nurse and my husband is a teacher, and it's scary for both of us in our profession. And that's the way we provide for our families. But I say get into your spiritual.
Most definitely.
And no, I know that God is in control of my life, and that's how I feel. That's how I just can even cope with it and keep my mind, from going too left. It's just that He's going to take care of me. He brought me this far, and I know that He's going to carry me on. And everyone that I love and don't know in the state of Mississippi and the whole United States, regardless of what is going on in Washington, He's going to take care of us. But you're going to have to help and do some precautions. Washing your hands, staying 6 feet away from people. Don't roll up on people. It's like if you go, I was in the store today, it's a line. Go back.
I have a dog. Stop touching my animal. You don't have to greet my animal. We can just nod and move on.
Touch your animal.
But
careers, jobs, money, health, failing people, losing people, mental health, unable to go, and you having to social distance. It's a time where our country really needs prayer and
unity.
Yeah, we definitely need unity.
We need to be on the same page.
And you can look it up on the CDC or for yourself, just different things they ask for you to do. Know how coronavirus spreads. Coronavirus, the best way to prevent this illness is to avoid being exposed to the virus. it is mainly spread through person to person. So if you are not 6 feet away from that person at the grocery store, you're putting yourself at a higher risk. Through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. That means put your mask on. They can really prevent it. If somebody is 6 feet away from you and they sneeze or talk, that mask might really go ahead and protect you. And also, they suggest that COVID-19 may be spread by people who are not showing symptoms. That's the scariest one of them all. You're really putting your family at risk.
Yeah.
Stop. Since July 18th, it was 796 cases, 10 deaths. That's a lot in one day, especially for a state so small. So I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
Very concerned, and don't know what to do. What you guys thought? Do you have any suggestions or tips?
Mm-hmm.
What do you all are doing to do your mental health during this time? Because it's stressful. Yeah. Are you talking to your therapist? A lot of therapists, a lot of counselors, they're doing Zoom. They're doing the Zoom appointments. You don't even have to go into their offices. And also utilize FaceTime. Like, I have the best FaceTime. I'm catching up with people that I usually wouldn't catch up with if it wasn't, coronavirus.
Same. I'm developing a different relationship with families and with friends.
Use this time to do some things to just keep yourself positive while we allow the experts to find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. But do not be the guinea pigs. Let's not run out there and see what happens first. Let's relax, continue to social distance, stay low to the ground, and do what you need to do.
And like you said, make sure that we are checking in with self, that we're grounded and we're balanced, irregardless of all the negative things that are happening around us. Mm-hmm. And then from that point, make sure that we're taking precautions, especially you gave us a resource, the CDC. Checking out, periodically what the CDC is recommending, and maybe even just updates about what the CDC has on COVID-19 or vaccinations. So thank you so much for bringing that up, and we'll put the information below, so definitely check it out. I encourage people, if you haven't tried therapy, that this is a great time to try therapy, especially because you don't have to physically go into an office. You do have the option of telehealth, where you can kind of get your toes wet a little bit to see if you actually like it or if it's for you or not.
Other things like entertainment, it's all kinds of shows on Netflix. The Shy is a show that I'm enjoying watching right now. Greenleaf, that's back on right now. Yeah. Definitely going to be doing some reviews on those. That's just something to just take your mind off of the harsh reality of what's going on, because you can't get swallowed up into this stuff. It is negative. It is bad. It is scary, but you have to stay strong. And, like I said, dive into your Bible. If you're a Christian, work on your spirituality. It's a time now, a wonderful time to do that.
Yeah, and if you're spiritual, I say I am reading a book right now called The 7 Spirituality Laws, and it is really cool. I implore you to definitely take a look at this book. I'm on the 4th spiritual law, and it is pretty much the law of giving and receiving. Like I said, if you're spiritual, I think that it's a good find and it's a good read, and we'll definitely put the information below.
Hope that was just quick and informal, but we just want to try to get the information out and just talk a little bit about coronavirus and about what are you thinking, and talk about it. Like, put it in the comments below. We'll really like to hear what you think, what you're going.
Do you think that your children should return to school? Have you been personally affected by COVID-19? And in what ways have you been personally affected? We would love for you guys to share your stories. We would love to even send encouraging words, uplifting words to you. Also, add you to our motivation list, where we try to make sure that, we inspire you or uplift you with our words. So definitely comment and definitely subscribe.